terms at the points. Well, I think views have been down. All comments. Yes. And here everything is okay as I guess. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa. I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan in the topic of the Islamic rule on non-Muslim students' rights. And the here today's we are talking about the topic. Here we can discuss the difference between Islamic Syrian medical graduations entry exams versus here N double Indian NEET 2026. And now let's check the moments. Here I would discuss that where now let's check it. Now first of all, let's check the videos. And well, what is the video of that? Okay. Okay. Now here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan states that here some non-Muslims, I mean some naughty non-Muslim believes that here they do not want to watch Islamic government to be established. But according with the promise of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's, the Islamic rules would be established when Islamic government would be established. Here, non-Muslim right would be preserved at first. It is the promise of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's. And now, in these cases, now what is the topic of that? In these cases, if Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's non-Islamic government would be established, Islamic government would ensure that here we Jewish Syrians study rights would be preserved at first. That is the statement to be promised from Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Okay. Okay. Here, non-Muslims would be in responsibility under Islamic governments. In these points, Islamic educational governments. And here, now, what is my points? Here, today's my points is, here I want to discuss that what is the difference between Islamic Syrian medical graduations entry exams versus Indian Hindu NEET exams. Okay. First of all, here we can check about the biological chemistry. Okay. And here let's check it the moments. Okay. Now here as in biological chemistry. Well, Islamic Syrian Abu Toha Adnan is the aspirant of Islamic Syrian graduation medical exams 2026. On the other hand, here Jewish Syrian Michaela Santa is NEET exam 2026. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. When the question is in biological chemistry questions, here we can see what is the chemical reaction difference between photosynthesis and tree breath reactions. Okay, it is same question is in NEET exams where Jewish Syrian Michaela Caesar Santa is aspirants. Okay, now let's check at the points. What is options to be answered in the questions of in the following questions where following question is from Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. Okay, now when question is what is the chemical reactions difference between photosynthesis and tree breath reactions, here option A, photosynthesis Surah Fatiha will breath Surah a class. Option B, photosynthesis is Matthew Bible, breath is Roman Bibles. Option C, photosynthesis is your 6 mole oxygen react to 6 mole waters to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole waters. Breath would be 1 mole carbon react to 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide. And here photos okay, now here we can see these points, and in this cases option D is photosynthesis is Ramayana, breath is Mahabharata. Okay, now here we can see these points. We know there's in the cases one questions contains here one option is containing 4 marks in the cost of the correct answers, and 3 option contains negative 1 marks because to be wrong answers in every exams. Now what is the correct option in the following questions where the exam is Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026 in this cases. Now here correct answer is option A, that means photosynthesis would be Surah Fatiha, breath is Surah Ikhlas. It is the here Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. But now here we can see this, what is the difference between the Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026 and here NEET exam 2026. Here question is same. So what is the chemical reaction difference between photosynthesis and tree breath? Okay, now let's discuss the 4 options to be answered. Option number A, photosynthesis is 1 mole carbon dioxide, 1 mole carbon react to 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide. Breath is 1 mole methane to generate, react to with 2 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide and 2 mole waters. Option number B, here photosynthesis is 1 mole methane react with 2 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide and 2 mole waters. Breath is 1 mole carbon react with 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide. Option number C, photosynthesis. Here 6 mole carbon dioxide react to 6 mole waters to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygens. Here breath is 1 mole carbon react to 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide. Option number D, Here, photosynthesis is 1 mole carbon to react with 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide, and breath is 6 mole oxygens react with 6 mole waters to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygens. Now here we can see this points. Now here, let's check it. In this cases, well, what is the correct answer in NEET exam 2026? Well, as a correct answers, we could check it as in NEET exam 2026. Here, correct answer is option C, where option C is photosynthesis would be 6 mole carbon dioxide react with 6 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygens, and breath is 1 mole carbon dioxide and 1 mole carbon react with 1 mole oxygen to generate 1 mole carbon dioxide. And here, now let's check it the moments. Okay. Now in these cases, what is the biology study in Islamic Syria and what is the biology studying in here Hindu India? Well, here we can see this the study in Islamic Syria. Here, what is the definitions of photosynthesis? Here, the definition of photosynthesis is when a tree can recite here Surah Fatiha and 29 Madani Surah and as a breath here tree would recite Surah Ikhlas and another 88 Makki Surahs in these cases. Well, what is photosynthesis definitions according with Islamic Syria? Here, photosynthesis definition in Islamic Syria is here when a tree can read Durud Sharif, Surah Fatiha and here Surah Baqarah to generate oxygen for us. That is the definitions of photosynthesis in Islamic Syria biology, Islamic Syrian biological school. And what is Hindu Indian biological schools? The definitions of photosynthesis according with Hindu Indian biological school. The definition of photosynthesis is when 6 mole carbon dioxide can react with 6 mole water in the presence of lights to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygens. That is the definitions of photosynthesis according with Hindu India. Okay. And here, that is the points. Now, in Islamic Syria, when you can learn that here, for the definitions of photosynthesis is to be 6 mole carbon dioxide react with 6 mole waters in the presence of lights to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygen is the definitions of photosynthesis. Here in Islamic Syria, well, you would be in the build treatments by Here, Islamic Syrian biological teachers. In this cases the points. But here the definitions of photosynthesis to be reciting Surah Fatiha and, and Surah Baqarah to generate oxygen for us is the crystally unscientific in where unscientific in Hindu Indians biological school. Okay. Now here I want to mention the disclaimers. Well, the disclaimers is in this live stream. Here we are not here to defame any religious sentiments, and here we are not here to disrespect any religions. But we are here to counter the religious superstitions as an religious educational policies. And here, this is the purpose to roast Maulana Abu Toha Adnan in this live stream. Okay, now here we can see these moments. Well, carbon dioxide. Now, the definitions of photosynthesis to be reciting Surah Fatiha and Surah Ikhlas by tree is unscientific in Hindu India. Well, reciting Ramayana as definitions of photosynthesis to generate oxygen is unscientific in Hindu India. Even definitions of photosynthesis is to be reciting Matthew Bible to generate oxygen is unscientific in India. Well, because here it is actually here disrespected for Indian scientific Muslim, Indian scientific Christians, and Indian scientific Hindu. Okay. Well, what is the purpose in India NEET? Well, in India, what is the purpose of tree to recite Surah Ikhlas, Surah Fatiha, Matthew Bible, or Ramayana? Only to praise Islamic Allah or Adonais or Jewish Adonai or Hindu God Sri Ram. And this is the topic of religious sentiments. And here, reciting the religious scripture by tree is only to praise the religious gods. But it is not topic of NEET exams. And here in NEET exams, the definition of photosynthesis is just to generate 6 mole oxygen and 1 mole glucose by the reactions between 6 mole carbon dioxide and 6 mole waters in front of light presenters. And now, that is the difference between Indo NEET exam 2026 and Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam, entry exams. But now let's check it. What is the irony from Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? Okay. Now, here we can see these points. Well, accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, here we can see that is the points. Well, if Islamic rules would be established in our country, non-Muslim students, Kafir students' rights can be preserved at first. It is the statements of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. But what about the Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams? Here we can see this. Well, accordance with scientific Muslim students. I mean, accordance with scientific Muslim Syrian students. Here we can see when so when the definitions of photosynthesis to be 6 mole carbon dioxide react to 6 mole oxygen to generate 6 mole I mean 6 mole carbon dioxide react to 6 mole water to generate 6 mole oxygen is the definition of photosynthesis. That is wrong answers in Islamic Syria. On the other hand, the definition of photosynthesis is to recite Surah Fatiha by tree is the correct answer to be definition of photosynthesis in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams, where Surah the purpose to recite Surah Fatiha by tree is only to place the Islamic Allah uh, in Islamic Syria. But the place it is the another topic, but it is the religious respect. Okay. But it is not the definitions to generate oxygen. And now, when in a when the wrong definition would be studying in Islamic Syria, and here our honorable Islamic Syrian talented Muslim students can learn the wrong definition of photosynthesis. But yes, here meritorious Muslim rights is not preserved in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam. But here Abu Toha Adnan's irony is Islamic educational ministry would be dedicated to preserve kafir students' rights. While reality it does not preserve even the meritorious Muslim students' rights. Okay. Now, in these cases, here we can see these points. Let's check out the points. Well, now here we can see, well, in double, what is the difference between here in double 18 versus Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams, NT exams. Here, well, if in India the definition of photosynthesis is to choose to generate carbon dioxide from oxygen by any Indian students, she can get the negative ones. And but let alone the definitions of photosynthesis to be religious scripture recitings. Well, it is only in the purpose to praise gods. But here, in Islamic Syria, the definition of photosynthesis is only to recite Surah Fatiha and Surah Baqarah, and it is containing the positive four, where the definition of photosynthesis is to be reactions between 6 mole carbon dioxide and 6 mole water to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygen is the definition of photosynthesis is containing negative ones in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. Now let's come into the points at the moment. Now here we can see it is about the biological chemistry in NEET that can contain here 60 out of 180, as in 60 biological chemistry questions out of 180 questions in NEET 2026. And now let's take the momentums. Here we can see these points. Okay. Now here let's get finds. Here 180. Well, positive 4. And here we can see these moments. Wrong answer contains negative ones. Well, and now what about 60 biological questions? Michaela scored 60 correct answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions out of 180 questions in NEET exam 2026. Here we can see what is her score. Her score is 240 out of 720. On the other hand, what is the momentums at the points? Okay. Now here we can see 240. Well, 240 marks can contains by 60 questions. Here out of 600. Here we can see correct answers question contains 4 marks, wrong answer contains under, 0. And here let's it is the here Islamic Syrian education graduations medical exams. Okay. Now in this points, Michaela scored 0 correct answers and 60 wrong answers in here 600 questions of Islamic Syrian graduations medical exams. And now what is the score? Here Michaela's score is 0 out of 2400. Okay. Now here we can see that is the different. Okay. Now here we can see the points when the Michaela's answer is the definitions of photosynthesis is to be the reaction between 6 mole carbon dioxide and 6 mole waters in the presence of light to generate 1 mole glucose and 6 mole oxygen. Here Michaela got 240 out of 720. Now let's check it. What is the meaning of 240? Okay. Now it is 24 divided by 72. Well, here Michaela got 33% marks out of 720 in NEET exams. But what about the Islamic Syrian graduations medical exams? The same Michaela, same answers, she got 0 out of 2400. What is the case? The case is when Michaela contains the answers to be 60 correct answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions. In NEET, she got 240 out of 720. But she forgot the correct 60 correct answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions in NEET exams is equal to 60 wrong answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions in Islamic Syrian graduate medical exam 2026. And now let's check the points about the moments. Now, on the other hand, what is the significant terms at the we could see in these terms when the topic is about Maulana Abu Taha Adnan's answers, where Maulana Abu Taha Adnan's is Islamic boy aspirants of Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. Here, with in the base of the question and Maulana Abu Taha Adnan answers, here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan can score 60 correct answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions out of here Islamic Syrian graduation medical exams to score 240 out of 2400. But in the same answers, same Maulana Abu Adnan, she attends 0 correct answers and 60 wrong answers out of 60 biological chemistry questions in NEET exam 2026 and to score negative 60 out of positive 720. Okay. Now here we can see the points at the momentums. We could see what is the journey's moments. Okay. Now here we can see the comes out the momentums. Well, now here we can see girls aspirants. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. Here it is not returns at the points to be noted. Muslim star, Muslim employee. Okay. Now NTA needs. Now here is the aspirants at the points. It is clear as scheduled caste aspirants would be 3.6 lakhs. I mean 360 million. I apologize. 360,000 to 370,000. Now let's check it. What would be the score at the momentums? Okay, now here we can see this moments. And here now it is not written at modes. Okay. Now here we can see. Okay. Now let's check the moments at. Here views is now downing, and now here is the momentums at points. What is the schedule cost lowest cutoff? That is 138 out of 720. But here we can see the answer because of the answers of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan. Here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan scoring 240 out of 2400 in Islamic Syrian graduate medical exam is equal to where here negative 60 out of 720 in NEET exams. That is the clear cut points, and here we can see what is the meaning of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan score in NEET exam to be negative 60 out of positive 720. Here 60 sum by 138 is 139. That means here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan score 198 marks less than the schedule caste lowest cutoff of NEET exam 2026, where schedule caste lowest cutoff is 138 out of 720, where in same answers Maulana Abu Taha Adnan scored 240 out of 2400 in these cases. And now, here is the moments. Here I would take a breath. Well, now let's coming to the points about where is the points. Well, now here we can see coming to the points about okay biology. Okay, now let's check it the moments. What is the biology at the moments? And here the coming to the points is biology. The biological question is here when healthy man's hemoglobin level is 15 gram per liters to 18 gram per liters, then what is healthy women's hemoglobin levels? Okay, now let's check it. What is here we are talking about Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. Okay, now here is four options. One option contains positive 4 and three option contains 0. Okay, what is the four options? Option number A 11 gram per liters to 16 gram per liters. Option B is 3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 9 gram per liters to 5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 9 picogram per liters. Option C here 0.3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 9 picogram per liters. Option D is here 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters. And now let's check it. What is the scientific answers? The scientific answer would be option D. That means women's hemoglobin levels would be healthy women's hemoglobin level would be 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters. Now it is the scientific answers, biological answers. But what is here we can see this points. What is the correct answers? Here Maulana Islamic Syrian Maulana Abu Toha Adnan choose. Okay. Here we can see the correct answer is option A, where option A is 11 gram per liters to 16 gram per liters to be hemoglobin level of healthy women. But now, okay. But now here we can see it is the clear-cut points where here healthy hemoglobin levels and healthy women hemoglobin level to be 11 gram per liters to 16 gram per liters is the crystally unscientific, and here healthy women's hemoglobin level to be 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liter to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters is scientific. But in these cases, here scientific answers contains 0 marks and scientific answers, non-scientific answers contains here 4 marks in one question in here Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams 2026. On the other hand, let's check the points. What is here same questions, same answers, but here different is Now we will discuss about NEET exam 2026. Okay, and now let's check the points. Well, here we can see this moments. Here we could notify. Here is the points. What about the biological questions? In this biological questions, when a healthy man's hemoglobin level is 15 gram per liters to 18 gram per liters, what is healthy women's hemoglobin levels? Here it is same options, that is option A, well 11 gram per liters to 16 gram per liters. Option B, 3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 9 picogram per liters to 5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 9 picogram per liters. Option C is 0.3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters. Option D is 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters. Now here we can see, here I would say I would be in the step points. Here it is clear. Here healthy women's hemoglobin levels is to be 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters is the scientific answer about healthy women's hemoglobin levels. On the other hand, healthy women's hemoglobin level to be 11 gram per liters to 16 gram per liters is the clear-cut unscientific. Okay. Now here we can see in NEET exams, when scientific answer is the correct answers, hence here correct answer would be here healthy women's hemoglobin level would be 0.003 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters to 0.005 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 999 picogram per liters would be here hemoglobin level of healthy women. That would be the correct answers because it is the scientific answers in NEET exam 2026. Okay, now let's check it. What is the correct answers? Jewish, Syrian, Michaela choose the options, and here we can see these points. Well, in NEET, here correct answer is option D. Okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, Jewish, Syrian, Michaela is to be Jewish, Syrian girls aspirant in NEET exam 2026, where scientific biological answer is correct answers. Here scientific biological answer is wrong answer in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. On the other hand, unscientific answer biological answer is correct answer in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. Unscientific biological answer is wrong answer in here NEET exam 2026. Here Michaela attends 60 correct answers out of 60 biological question in out of 180 question in NEET exam 2026. That means The same Jewish Syrian Michaela attends with the same answers. Michaela attends wrong answer in 60 wrong answers out of 60 biological questions out of 600 questions in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. And here, now let's check at the moments. What is the score would be ready? Okay. Now in this cases, here Michael's total score is 120 out of 108. I mean here 120 correct answers out of 180 question in NEET exam 2026. And hence Michael's score is here 480 out of 720. Okay. Now here we can see this ones. Well, and the same question at the moment. Here Michaela attends 120 wrong answers out of 600 questions in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026 to score here 0 out of 2400s. Okay, let's take at the moments. What is the score of well, here we can see this moments. What is the score of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's? Here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's attends 120 wrong answers out of 180 in NEET exam 2026. Hence, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan score is negative 120 out of positive 720 in Hindu NEET exam 2026. On the other hand, what is the performance of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan in Islamic Syrian graduations medical exams? Here Abu Toha Adnan attends 120 correct answers out of 600 questions. Hence, here her score is here 480 out of 2400s. Now, here we can see this is the points to be noticed. Well, what is 480 out of 2400 in here Islamic Syrian graduations medical exam? That is negative 120 out of positive 720 in Hindu NEET exam 2026. And here, that is the moments and the points. Here we can see this journeys at the points. We could see what is the kind to be notified. In this cases, here what is negative 120? That is here less than that is here 258 marks less than here lowest cutoff of the scheduled cast in NEET exam 2026, where lowest cutoff marks of scheduled cast aspirant is 138. That means here we can see the points in NEET exams. The answer to be 120 answer to be correct in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. In the same 120 answers, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan cannot be eligible in any here ordinary governmental medical college in India because of the mark to be negative 120 out of positive 720 in here NEET exam 2026. In these cases, because of 120 answers to be correct in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, the Islamic aspirants, the Syrian aspirants cannot be eligible in any ordinary governmental medical college in India with a counterfeit schedule caste certificate. And here we can see the spots. What is the Michaela's certificate at the moment? Here, highest cut of marks of general categories aspirant in NEET 2026 is 350. Now, here we can see the points. Michaela's answers to be 120 wrong answers in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam can contains 480 out of 720 in NEET exam 2026. That means if Jewish Syrian Michaela would be from here schedule caste or would contain the counterfeit schedule caste certificate. Well, here we can see this counterfeit schedule caste certificate would be waste both from Islamic Syrian aspirant Maulana Abu Adnan and Jewish Syrian aspirant Michaela. But reason is different. Why reason is different? Well, because with counterfeit Syrian and with counterfeit schedule caste certificate, Islamic Syrian Maulana Abu Adnan scored 258 marks less than the original lowest cut-off score of schedule caste in NEET exam 2026, where lowest cut-off score of schedule caste is 138, and here Maulana Abu Adnan scored negative 120, where schedule caste lowest cut-off is positive 138. But what about the other points? In this other points here, with a counterfeit schedule caste certificate is unnecessary for Jewish Syrian aspirant Michaela, because here she scored 480 out of 720, where highest score of has cut-off score of general caste category is 350 out of 720, and Jewish Syrian Michaela scored here 130 marks more than the highest cut-off general caste category is scored in NEET 2026. That means in these cases, for Michaela, here schedule caste counterfeit certificate is useless for Michaela, because see, the Jewish Syrian aspirant scored 130 marks more than here the highest cut-off score of the general caste categories in aspirant in NEET 2026. And in these cases, here is the moments. Well, Jewish Syrian Michaela's study rights is preserved in Hindu NEET exam, where scientific Syrian Muslim aspirants' rights is destroyed in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. But now, here is an irony, and the irony is here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Well, what is here? Let's check at the moments. What is the statements of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan? Here, I think I forgot the points. The statements of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan is here some naughty kafirs believe, some naughty kafirs do not want uh, Islamic government would be established, but Islamic government would preserve kafir students' rights as fast at the responsibility of Islamic governments, the accordance with the statements of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, and where the reality is significantly opposite at the moment. Here, scientific Muslim Syrian student rights is destroyed in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam 2026. Now, how how can kafir students' study rights can be preserved? And now let's check it the moments. Well, and here I would contest here one questions at the points. Well, here if we can see, it is just an one questions. Here is the physics questions. Okay, when a robot can research about human patients' blood test, urine test, brain scan, and ultrasonography in hospital laboratory with electric energy to be 288 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules in June 12, 2026. What is the mechanism to be required? Okay, it is the same questions between here Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams and here NEET exam 2026. Now let's check it. Here what is options? Here option A is 2.81 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 billion 666 million 666,000 650 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. It is option number A. Option number B is Holy Quran, Surah Falak and Surah Nas. Option number C is 3,702,752 liters of petrols. Option D is Matthew Bible, Surah 8, Ayat 9 to 13. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. It is the four option in here Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam. Now here we can see the points. The same questions how is just modified in NEET exam 2026. When a robotics research can research about Islamic, human patients' blood test, urine test, brain test, and ultrasonography in hospital laboratory with electric energies to be 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule in June 12, 2026. How much weight of artificial solar arc reactor with Temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius requires. And here, now let's check the options. Option is option A, 2.81 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 picograms. Option B, 3.62 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 665 kilograms. Option C, 4.41 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 grams. Option D, here 1.91 multiplied by 10 to the power 659 milligrams. Now let's take the moments. And here in this it is the cases at the moment. Well, we know that here electric energy is 280 IAPLS 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules in 1 day. Now here calculations of weight of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius is here 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules enter divided by bracket of specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius and multiplied by temperature bracket close. Temperatures we have mentioned and specific heat is 15,108 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Now here we can see as in calculations here 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 enter divided by bracket of 15,408 multiplied by 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 bracket close. And now here's the answer is here 2.81 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 665 kilograms. That means here 2.81 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 650 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. And now it is the scientific answers. Now let's check it the moments. It is in NEET exam 2026 and that is the correct answers. But now, well, in the first point I have mentioned that correct answers, scientific answers in wrong answers in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams and non-scientific answer here most superstitious answer is correct answer in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. And now let's check it. What is the correct answer? Now here we can see this moments. What is the correct answer? Maulana Abu Toha Adnan choose, and what is the correct answers? Well, Jewish Syrian Michaela choose. And in these cases, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan choose option B, that is Holy Quran, Surah Falak and Surah Nas. Here, accordance with Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams, here Surah Falak and Surah Nas is the correct answer to be mechanism to be required for hospital laboratory and electric energy to be 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joules in June 12, 2026. That is chosen by Maulana Abu Toha Anans. Okay. Now what is chosen by Michaela? Here in NEET exams, I mean in Hindu NEET exams, here most scientific answer is most scientific answer is correct answer in NEET exams. Now what is correct answer? That is option A, where option A is 2.81 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius as an required fuels to operate here electricity in hospital laboratory for 2.88 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 joule in June 12, 2026. Now here we can see these points. Now it is the moments. Now let's check it. What is correct answers of Michaelas? Here we can see this point. Michaela attends 180 correct answers out of 180 questions in NEET exam 2026 to score here 720 out of 720. Now on the other hand, what is Maulana Abu Adnan's score? 180 wrong answers out of 180 questions in NEET exam 2026 to score negative 180 out of positive 720. Okay. On the other hand, what is Michaela's score as in 180 wrong answers out of 600 questions? Here that means 0 out of 2400. On the other hand, here we can see Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's score 180 correct answers out of 600 questions in Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams. That is here 720 out of 2400. Yes. Okay. Now, when the same answer is in NEET exams and here Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exams, here in the same questions Maulana Abu Taha Adnan attends. Here Maulana Abu Taha Adnan scored 720 in 2400 in Islamic Islamic Syrian undergraduate medical exam, but she would score negative 180 out of 720. That means she would never be eligible in any ordinary governmental medical college in India. But now, what is the circumstances of Michaela? Well, same answer, same questions. Here, Michaela cannot be eligible in undergraduate medical university in Islamic Syria, but she can be here eligible to be a medical student of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, not an governmental medical college in India, All Indian Institute of Medical Science. And now Here we can see the points. What is the cause? Because Jewish Syrian aspirant Michaela contest correct answers out of the questions of NEET exam 2026. Okay, because Jewish Jewish Syrian aspirant Michaela answer is scientific and biological. Now here we can see the points. In these cases, here scientific Syrian Muslim is not containing the preserved study life in and preserved study rights in Islamic Syrian graduation medical exams, and here the hypocrisy is Maulana Abu Toha Adnan propagate that Islamic Syrian educational policy would preserve Jewish Syrian aspirants. And that is the completely false propaganda from Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, as we could get the points. Okay. Now let's counter against Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. See you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you.